Hello and welcome back to the another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And yeah, big show today. Obviously, lots going on. We've got more of the Continental Classic. We're building up to World's End, which is obviously not far away now. Just a few more episodes of Dynamite after this before we get to it. Without further ado, let's get straight to things. In Hangman Page cut off accusations by Smojo that he was responsible for attacking MJF a week ago, and Roderick Strong joined the fray to point his anger at the world champion. Physical altercation between Strong and Page gave way to the first match of the night, which was a good competitive physical match, concluded with Page overcoming interference from Taven and Benefit, flattening his opponent with a dead eye for the win. The quality of the match was almost secondary to the fact Page looked like a world beater, dispatching of Kingdom and Strong en route to a win. Sure, it helps them rebuild momentum as this time of year comes to an end, and did the heels need to be undermined to get to that point? There's a credibility issue with the heels, considering their role in the storyline with MJF and Adam Cole. And yeah, that is somewhat problematic, but I think, just on the match alone, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty decent match. Obviously, you know what both these men can do. But as it plays into the story, I don't know, I'm still kind of undecided on where this all goes. Before it's time for the Continental Classic Blue Lead, Andrade versus Brody King. Andrade defeated King to earn 3 crucial points in the Classic, in what was a hell of a battle between two driven competitors. Both men can beat each other up, dealing hard blows about the quality of each other, testing their toughness and endurance. Ultimately, it was one man, Cunning, that proved the difference. The Elo exposed his turnbuckles and exposed King's face into it before delivering a hammerlock DDT for the win. This match continued Elo's recent string of success, including a win over Danielson on Collision, and gave Cross an out for loss, all while delivering one of the better matches of the tournament to this point. So yeah, I thought this was strong. Andrade really on a roll at the moment, but I think Brody King obviously had a reason for these, and I think no doubt he'll come flying back. Before it's time for Jericho and Omega, and they returned on Wednesday and cut a promo on the World Tag Team Champions, the former blaming them for the attack after Fall that left him with a dislocated elbow. The chat was engaged and verbal go at it ensued, and yeah, it wasn't great, to be brutally honest. It was two babyfaces trying to be clever and failing misery to keep up with Starks on the mic. When that didn't work, they dipped into Wednesday Moro themed insults, as it's poking fun at Bills for being one of the most, half of the almost organically over tandem in NXT history is somehow a bad thing. That everyone talks about, everything else, only exasperated promo that faltered from the start, and yeah, the in-ring action will undoubtedly be better than this. But yeah, I think they need to heat this program up in the coming weeks. Before it's time for Riho versus Ruby Soho. Riho returned to AEW and made her intentions clear to challenge Timeless Tony for the women's title. And yeah, she kind of showed that she should be the number one contender here. Wednesday, she's got a quality win over Ruby Soho in a solid but it's a spectacular match that might have been hurt by the commercial break in the middle of the action. Afterwards, Storm mockingly applauded her from ringside as it became clear that they were on a collision to a championship crash, presumably at the December 30th World End, which obviously be a great match when we get to it. But I think just for this one, building Riho up, just planting seeds in the storyline as well, it did its job pretty well. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Before back to the Continental Classic action, it was Roosh versus G Lethal. Roosh channeled his frustration with his loss of Mox a week ago with an impressive victory here. He dominated the action and put Lethal down with the very bulldog choke, and caused him to lose consciousness for long enough for the ref to declare Mox the winner last Wednesday. This win highlighted Roosh as a legit threat to their entire division. For Lethal, the loss only intensified his own frustration, leading to a post-match tease that his time in the most unlikable faction in the company may be coming to an end. But yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. This was very dominant, probably one of the most dominant matches in the Classic so far. Lethal just kind of there at the moment to put people over. But yeah, Roosh's dominant victory and potentially puts himself back into the contention here. We then got another classic match, Jay White versus Mark Briscoe, and Jay White fought for his life, and it would be extremely difficult for him to remain in contention if he didn't score the W here. Luckily, the former number one contender for the world title got the victory and was able to thwart a late surge from the ROH original, getting his knees up and doing an attempted froggy bow and putting him away with a Blade Runner for the win. A good match that would have meant more if they respected Briscoe, so they're still meaningfully involved in this tournament. But I think, I preferred it to the previous match. Mark Briscoe definitely put up more of a fight. I think it's definitely a better match. And White scoring the victory is big for him, and obviously still has a chance to go through. So yeah, for me it worked pretty alright and gets a 7 out of 10. For me, I thought it was good stuff. Before it's time for our main event, it was Moxley versus Swerve in the Classic. John Mox solo in the main event, grabbing hold of Swerve's belt to score the controversial pin. Making matters worse, that was Strickland's shoulder was also off the match. The conclusion of the hotly anticipated bout accomplished two things: it gave Mox a lead in the gold lead and set up a must-win situation for Strickland next week, so it helped create sympathy for Swerve. Here's a guy who fought for a bad shoulder, had Mox reeling, and lost via screaming. He was every bit as good as the former world champion, who had to cheat to pick up the win. It also drums out the controversy and gives a reason for the two to run it back again in the semi-final, if that's the direction Tony Khan's planning on taking things. The match was not good as White versus Briscoe or Elo versus King. It was a nice appetizer to what we can get with strict TV limits. So yeah, I thought it was really strong stuff. Gets an 8 out of 10 from me. The right result for me. Definitely in the Sunset storyline, a brilliant match. And overall, Dynamite this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. A really strong episode of Dynamite for me as well. This week, yeah, enjoyed it pretty much from start to finish. There's lots of definitely intriguing angles for us to keep an eye on in the Classic and elsewhere, and I think World's End is definitely building to be an interesting card. Maybe not such a good promo segment with Omega involved, but the rest of it, solid stuff. But anyway guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and also for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.